There's one other control structure in Java that we should mention. It's the switch statement. So in Scala, you have match, and match gives you the ability to do basically multi-way branching. The match expression slash statement in Scala is remarkably powerful, in large part because of the pattern matching that's present on it. The switch statement, while there are parallels to match in that it is a multi-way branching statement, that's where the parallels end. It's not nearly as powerful a construct, and for that reason it probably should not be used all that often, but we'll introduce it anyway. So to do switch, you switch on an expression. Now this expression needs to be an integer value or something of that type, for example character. If you're doing things prior to Java 7, beginning in Java 7, so hopefully with what you're working in now, you can also do strings, but that's it. Integer types, including character, and strings are the things that you can switch on. And so we can switch, since A is an int up here, I could do a switch on it. I could, though switching on a string literal would be a silly thing to do. And then I have cases inside of here. Now, some things to note about cases. Case 3. I don't get the powerful pattern matching that a Scala match statement has. I do have the ability to specify a default, and I want to show something here. So let's do this. I'm going to put some print statements through all of these. 1, 2, 3, and other. If I run this, oh, it's waiting for me to input stuff. I have to give it 5 values. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and you'll note that it printed out other because A was twice 2, which is 4. What I want to show you, because this might be surprising, is what happens if we give it the value 1. 4, 5. Let's look at that. 15 was the sum of my numbers here, and then it printed out 1, 2, 3, and other. It printed this, and this, and this, and this. But A was 1. Okay, well, that explains why the first one printed out case 1, so it printed out 1. Why did it print the others? Well, it turns out that switch statements, and this comes from the C language, have the ability, and I put some air quotes around that because this is something you often don't want, to fall through. In order to prevent things from falling through, you need to put a break at the end. Breaks can also be used to jump out of loops. If we had put a break inside of our for loop, it would have discontinued the loop whenever it was hit. The break here will cause this to behave in the way that we might have expected it to behave, where all it prints out is the 1. It is almost always a bug to have a missing break statement. There are times where people use it, they actually utilize the fall through. If you're ever going to do that, it's highly recommended that you put a comment that specifies why you're doing it, because otherwise people will assume that it shouldn't be there and put in a break statement. But the switch statement in general is not all that powerful. It does give you multi-way branching, but you probably just shouldn't be using it all that much. If nothing else, it's kind of bug prone and doesn't buy you much, other than maybe being a little bit more concise over the possibilities of what you could have done with a whole bunch of nested if statements or if else's in there.